Good evening, good evening. Happy Friday, everyone. And it is a happy Friday because we were all blessed to make it and see it alive. I am absolutely glad to be before you. This is going to be your first episode of Just Talking with your host. I am Michelle Love, and we will mostly be discussing healing and trauma here, but that is not all we will be discussing. So I encourage you to tune in every Friday night with me at 7 p.m. That being said, I first want to give honor to God, who is head of my life. I am truly blessed by his presence, and I want you to know that I am absolutely nothing without him, but I have been blessed to have access to every opportunity because of him. So I come before you this evening just to give you a brief introduction. Of course, this is supposed to be a whole podcast. I'm not totally set up the way that I want it to be. That being said, when when God has an assignment for your life, the enemy will do everything and absolutely everything that he can to keep you from completing that assignment. I have actually been under the weather for the last 2 days, and today I am feeling totally exhausted, but I promised you that I would be on tonight, and here I am. We're going to be here talking about, I want to take you on my own healing journey, and I definitely want to hear about all of yours as well. I thank you all that are tuning in and, giving me some time on your Friday night. Trauma is real, you guys, and I am so alarmed by the number of people that are coming up missing and found dead, and also the people that are out here actually committing suicide. It's alarming, and I think that that is the reason that we need to discuss trauma. We also need to discuss healing because it is possible. So again, I'll be sharing my journey with you guys. I absolutely hope to hear about yours. I want to preface this by saying that I am absolutely an expert on nothing, but I am sharing my journey because I can honestly tell you that there have been times in my life where I was broken because of things that I experienced with regard to trauma, and now here I am. I'm happy, whole, and healed, and I want to share that with you. Healing should absolutely be free. And I want to just share that journey. Hello, Mama Diane, Yasanti, Chardell. Thank you all for joining me. And so we'll be discussing trauma because trauma is real for everybody, guys. And it doesn't matter what level on which it has been experienced, but we all experience trauma, and some of us suffer more than others. But I absolutely want those to know that are out here hurting, who don't have anybody out to reach out to, that I am here for you. Feel free to inbox me. And I really, really mean that, whether we are connected because we know each other in real life or we are only friends here on Facebook. I want you guys to feel free to reach out to me. You can inbox me. And I also want to let you know that if there are things that you want to discuss, you are more than welcome to inbox that as well. And be sure to let me know in your inbox whether or not you'd like to remain anonymous, or if you want to be acknowledged for the comments or topics that you choose. That being said, I just quickly want to tell you a little bit about myself and what makes me not a therapist or an expert, but why I can tell you that I have been healed. When I was 2 years old, excuse me. Again, that's the enemy. Trying to put that frog in my throat, y'all. I didn't even have a voice before I got on here, but I learned something this week because I was trying to get set up and I didn't have things in order the way that I wanted them to be. I wasn't set up to come before you on camera the way that I wanted to, but I can tell you that God placed it in my spirit that he's not asking us for perfection. He only wants obedience. So whatever it is in your life that you're supposed to be doing right now, make sure you do that thing, whether it's the way that you want it to be designed or not, because there is somebody that may need to hear from you. There is somebody that may need to hear what it is that you've been through, what you're going through. And we're going to have some amazing people at some point that are going to come on. And again, it won't be all trauma and healing, but I promise you that you won't leave here without something that will uplift you and help you to elevate. That being said, again, when I was 2 years old, or just shy of being 2 years old, my mother was murdered. I was in the house with her for 3 days as she laid there dead. I was raised with my great aunt and uncle, and I have experienced my fair share of trauma. I have somebody that wants to join me, so give me a brief moment. I will be right with you, Uncle Paul. just want you guys to know that I experienced a lot of things. And one of the things that I want to say is that as I was growing up, I used to say that I was an abused child. But honestly, now that I have done the work and gone through the processes to do healing of my own, I understand that I wasn't abused. I was a victim of somebody else's trauma. And that is why we are addressing this, because there are people out here that people are becoming victims of their trauma, whether it's through childhood abuse, whether it's molestation, or whatever it may be. And I want you guys to know that you have somebody that is listening. I'm notorious for posting my phone number, and I want you guys to know that when I do that, I really, really mean that you can call me, because I've been there. I've been so depressed at times that I tried to hurt myself, and thank God that he didn't allow that to be successful, because I wouldn't be here to come before you today. So I thank you guys for joining me, and I'm just going to take you on my journey. Again, I hope to hear about yours, and I hope that we can share and that we can all learn from each other, because again, trauma is real, whether you are grieving because you've lost a parent, whether you're grieving because you've lost a child, or just anybody else that you're close to. And especially in the world, that the way that it's set up right now with all of the COVID and things that has been going on, the dilemma over getting vaccinated or not getting vaccinated, there is a lot going on. And I want you guys to know that I am one person, that I'm here to support you. I'm here to listen, especially those, because I see a lot on my timeline where people are contemplating suicide. I am here for you. So I am going to bring on now, I'm going to give a brief introduction. His name is Paul Wayne Marshall. He is my uncle. I love him dearly, and I'm going to bring him on so that we can just talk. So I think he's coming on. Let's see how this is going to work. Are you with me?
Yeah.
It's a little dark where you are. We can't see you.
Yeah, I know. Wait a minute. I was trying to get to where I didn't know I was going to be on live. So that it is a little dark for just a moment, but bear with me.
Okay.
I'll be right with you guys.
Okay. Do you want me to give you a
I,
minute so you can get all set up, and then we'll come back?
sure, that'll help
Okay, let's do
me.
that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we're we're gonna give Paul a moment to get all situated and everything, guys. Um, so again, it's really been bothering me that I see all of these people that are coming up missing, and they're dying at the hands of somebody else who probably suffered some trauma. And I just want you guys to know that you can heal from things, but you do have to do the work. It is a process. It didn't happen overnight, and you're not going to heal from it overnight. So whatever the situation may be, and everybody's trauma is valid. Okay. Some of us have experienced childhood abuse. Some of us have experienced domestic violence. Some of us have experienced being molested as children. I especially want to reach out to men who have been sexually abused. And I want you to know that this is a safe space where if you want to, you can come and talk about it. We can talk about it in private, but those are some of the things that we'll be addressing, because there are people that are walking around uncomfortable in their skin because of things that they have experienced, and they are harming other people as a result of that. There are people harming themselves, and it's very important to me that everybody know that they are supported. So hopefully, I can't reach everyone, but I hope that I can at least reach one. So I thank you guys all for joining me, and we're just going to talk about it. We're just going to be talking. And again, it won't always be trauma. It won't always be healing. But it will be centered around that. And there are some things that we'll have people come on and talk about, the things that they are experts with regard to. I want you guys to go check out Diane Harrell's page. She has a group that if you are grieving over a lost child, you will find the support that you need there. It doesn't matter how long ago that child died. That is your child. I don't care if it's been 5 days or 20 years, you are allowed to continue grieving. If you need to cry, you can cry. So I encourage you to check out her page over there. Um, I also want to give a quick shout out because I see my girl on here, Candace Bailey. She is running for city council in the city of Aurora. She is someone that absolutely understands trauma, and she is using her expertise to make Aurora a better place. I absolutely encourage you that if you live there, please do vote for her. I am endorsing her because she is a beautiful spirit. And when I tell you that she is wholeheartedly trying to help people, this is not something that she's doing because she wants street cred. This is not something that she's doing because she's getting paid for it. This is something that she's doing because she truly believes in making the world a better place. And I encourage you guys to go check out her page as well. If you live in the city of Aurora, make sure that when it's time that you vote. I don't have all of the information, but the next time that I come before you, I will have everything that I need to give you guys so that you have the ability to go vote when it's time. And I really encourage you to do that because she is doing everything that she can to make the world a better place. And I wholeheartedly believe in her. And let me tell y'all something. I am not the kind of person. She has provided a link in the comments, you guys. So make sure you go check that out. If you have the ability, please do donate. Again, this is a person that I can tell you that she is coming up from a place in her heart. This is her God-given assignment. She is walking in her purpose. So please do make sure that you go check out the link that she's provided and vote when you have the ability to do so. I want to make sure that everybody has access to the resources that they need because we all need healing in some places. And let me tell you, I've come a long way, but there are still places even in my own life that as I come before you, I'm still in the process. It's a constant process. Again, things don't happen overnight, so they're not going to go away overnight. But I'm going to do the best I can to provide you guys with resources so that you have the ability to reach out and get the love that it is, or the love that you need in order to grow in the places that you need to grow. That being said, I love absolutely everyone, y'all. If I know you, I don't know you, I absolutely love you. I have been in places in my life that were so dark that I thought I no longer wanted to be here. And that is primarily the reason why I'm here. So I can tell you that I am definitely open to constructive criticism, but I do not care about any negative critiques because I'm not here to impress anyone. I'm not here to get likes or follows. I'm doing what God has placed in my spirit to do my part to make sure that everyone feels encouraged, that everyone feels loved, that you know that there is somebody out here who cares about you. My page is public, so don't be afraid that if you don't know me in real life, you can't reach out to me, because you absolutely can, and I will always respond. It may take me a moment. I work overnight currently, so I sleep all day and work all night, but when I have the ability, I will reach out to you. So I am here for you. And I just want you to know that there's no trauma that is too small. It doesn't matter if, you know, your trauma may not seem as dramatic as somebody else's. It is still real to you. And you have the right to reach out and get the support that you need as well. So I'm not going to be before you long, guys, because one thing I don't believe in is just talking to hear myself be heard. Now, I will say, if you were in Miss Bc's first grade class at Bromwell, you heard her or saw her put me in the dunce chair as frequently as possible because she said I talk too much. As a child, I was always told you talk too much. And that's okay, because I realized that God gave me a voice and that now I am using it to do his work, and I am trying to walk in his will. So yes, I've been told my entire life that I talk too much, and now I know why. So that being said, I don't ever want to come before you just to talk to hear myself be heard. I want to talk and make sure that I am giving you the things that God has placed in my spirit to give you, because I absolutely want to see everyone heal. I don't want anybody to be walking around here hurting. I don't want anybody to be walking around here contemplating suicide or any of those things, because I tell you what, if you let God, he will do the work in you. There's no specific way in which this healing has to happen. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to manifest itself in the ways that other people have done it. It's going to be you and God, and it's a process that you have to go on the inside of yourself for. So I hope that we can share a journey with one another. I hope that we can all continue to grow, and I'm here for growth as well, because there might be things that you have to share with me that are going to elevate me to the next level. And I am so just happy and gracious that even though things weren't set up the way that I wanted them to be, that I still came before you. And even as I'm talking to you guys, I'm tearing up a little bit. I'm not actually sure why, but one of the things that I want to say is that you hear people say a lot that if you can't tell your story without crying, that it means that you're not healed. And I want to encourage you that that's not actually true. Sometimes I will be here and I might be crying, and you guys might be crying with me. It's not because I'm not healed from the things that I've been through. It's because I'm hurt that the things that I have been through are still hurting and affecting other people. um so there is no, and that I encourage you that as you're on your healing journey, if you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, scream. If God tells you that you need to take a sabbatical and that you need to get off your phone, you need to get off Facebook, you need to get off Instagram, you need to purge from talking on the phone to your friends, whatever the case may be, I want you to do that thing, because that is the only way in which we are going to elevate. So again, I want you guys to go visit Diane Harrell's page, and uh, check out her support group for those who have lost children. She is there to support you. She is an absolute wonderful support. And again, I want you to go check out Candace Bailey's page in order to see how you can donate and see how you can vote. So actually, guys, I'm not going to stay here much longer because I don't have anything more that God has placed in my spirit to say. So we will be going into that. Me just talking to be talking, and that's not my spirit. So I will be back on next Friday at 7 p.m. I encourage you guys that if you're available to join me, please do share. Please do speak with your friends. And I hope to be much more put together and in the place that I wanted to be to come before you. But again, I won't allow myself to not do something that God has given me because it's not going right. So I think that Paul is ready to come with us. So before I leave you, I'm going to bring him on camera, and we're going to talk for just a moment. Okay. So it's adding. Okay. Now we're connected. We can see you a bit better.
Yeah, well, I'm outside and I'm actually walking in the Bishop Art District here in Dallas, Texas. So uh, I
Okay. And
will be.
is there
I'm getting
anything?
close to where I'm going to be back at the house. So, but I'm so happy that you put this forum together. You know,
Yes,
it's a good.
I wanted to put this together and make sure that people, understand that we're here to support them. And it's called Just Talking, because that's all we're gonna be doing, y'all. It's just
Oh
talking
God,
and
yes.
really talking about the things that God has placed in our spirit, and wherever the conversation goes, it goes. But it will always mostly be geared towards healing. But I'm excited to tell you that I do have some people that will be coming on, and we'll be talking about some different things. So it won't always be necessarily heavy. And I encourage everyone to inbox me when you have things that uh, are specific that you would like to discuss. So, do you have anything before you get off, Paul, that you would like to discuss regarding trauma or healing?
Well, I think as you said, it's going to take like a village of people who've experienced trauma, and ritual trauma is something, a term that I've just recently heard of. And so I think that talking about the trauma, no matter what it was or how, but like you said, somewhere in here, we have to have a healing. And right now is time for us to come together and really help each other to heal from this pathology, the trauma that we've all experienced, whatever, no matter what it's been. But I think this is a good start at really trying to help each other in a weird way, just coming together and just hearing people's stories, or even somehow it was weird that when I got to notification that I was going to come on or you were going to be on, I was thinking, how in the world can I incorporate something that could literally start to help uh, everybody across the country? But let me just, I have to focus on uh, the people, our people, because at this time, it's really important for us to start to reach out, especially to the young Black men and the young Black women, our children, and really begin to reestablish what we've kind of went away from, because all of these kids are suffering from trauma too. Every day, something traumatic happens. I just saw that the Bahamas, the entire ocean disappeared today, and I'm like, how in the world did that take place? Is that I never saw anything like that. But I think during COVID, it's kind of elevating the need for us to come together and really start to work on things that can really heal us and get rid of this pathology that we've all just literally inherited from the whatever uh, place you got it. It was already, the trauma was there. It's just that we've inherited other trauma, and we've got to somehow weed that trauma from us, because it is crippling us in our ability to just move forward. And like you said, I love people, and I'm not going to change my heart, and I'm going to continue to be uh, the weirdo that loves. And my cousin Linda said, "No, you're not weird. You're just, you're different." And I am, and all of us are different, but we've all
Yeah, and
experienced
I think
some
that's what
severe trauma.
I think that's what it comes down to, is that, nothing is necessarily weird. We are all just different, and we all have something to
Yes,
contribute. And one of the reasons that I wanted to do this is because now I want to encourage everybody that if you have access to therapy, go get that. Is no shame in going to go get the therapy or get the help that you need there. And there's other uh, it's not all traditional. There are different types of therapists, so you got to figure out what works for you. My daughter likes dance therapy. I know people who do music therapy, drama therapy, spiritual counseling. But for me, my therapy has always been talking out loud amongst certain groups of people, and I absolutely love to connect with people, but sometimes I'm therapeutically working my stuff out in certain groups of people. But I do want to have access to get it. But one of the reasons that I wanted to do this is because sometimes therapy is not accessible to everyone, or everyone doesn't have the ability to step out and go get it, but they might watch a Facebook Live. Um, and I think that healing should be free. And I think there are a lot of times where people are capitalizing on people's pain and charging them. There's a lot of people that sometimes we follow on Facebook or Instagram, and they're offering all of these things that are supposed to help with healing, but they want you to pay a monthly fee, or they want you to pay some astronomical amount to have access to certain tools. And I don't think that that should be the case. Um, I thank you for joining me, Paul. I'm actually going to let you go, but I'm hoping that in the future we can do something more formally, so that when you get ready to come on, we're prepared with a specific topic. Tonight, I
yes,
kind of just wanted to make an introduction, but I do have someone else that is trying to come on. I'm going to bring that person on briefly, and really not going to stay before the people long. But I
yeah.
thank you, and I love you,
Love
and
you
I encourage
guys.
all to reach out, because he's another person that if you are hurting and you are thinking about ending your life, because that's a topic that is kind of near and dear to my heart right now, because I've seen so many people on my timeline that they're grappling with committing suicide, and they're reaching out. So, before, if that's something that's on your mind, I just want you to know that there are people that before you make that final decision about something that's going to take your life, reach out to somebody, y'all.
Oh,
Inbox
yeah.
somebody, and don't be afraid, because a lot of times people will respond.
Yes. It's not weakness. I mean, when you reach out, it's just it's a way of, it's a cry for help, and I think a lot of times with suicide, with people, contemplating suicide. I heard recently a pastor say, you know, if you kill yourself, you won't see what God has waiting for you. And so you just have to, really reach out, talk to people, and don't worry about what people think about you. It's you, it's your healing that is important. And no matter
Exactly.
if, you've got to just be free to express yourself, and it'll free you.
So yes, definitely reach out. So again, we all love you, Uncle Paul,
Yeah.
and
Yes. Love you.
we will definitely be talking to you soon. So you enjoy the rest of your night, and we
Yes.
will see you soon. Okay.
Yes. God bless y'all. Have a wonderful evening.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye. I'm staying one.
Okay. So next, you guys, I am going to bring on Diane Harrell. I was telling you about her group earlier, and I'm going to bring her on so that she can talk a little bit about the support group that she has. So give me a moment. I hope that she's ready. We are adding her. It says adding, adding. When we're dealing with technology, sometimes it will um, cause us a problem. So I don't know. Mama Diane, if you're still there, I have selected to add you and bring you on camera. So if you're able, come on. But anyway, I want to give you guys a brief story about Mama Diane. I don't know if she's still trying to come on or what. But she actually, so my mother, again, I told you guys earlier that she was murdered when I was 2 years old. And uh, Mama Diane was actually one of her best friends in high school. Okay, okay, there you are. We got you. Okay. So I was just kind of explaining to the people how we came to have our relationship. So this is like one of the many mothers that I have. And so anyway, I was at a Kmart, you guys. I was on the phone. I was talking, and this lady was just staring me down. And I said, "Okay, am I talking loud? Am I being rude? Am I disrupting stuff? Because what's going on?" And she said to me, "What's your mother's name?" And I said, "Well, my mother passed away." And she asked me her name, and I told her that her name was Diana Love. And she said, "Oh my God, I know her. That was one of my best friends." And she said, "You look just like her." And ever since, guys, we have been connected at the heart. And I brought you on, Mama Diane, because of course this is where we're talking about trauma and healing. And I wanted you to give everybody the name of your support group. I couldn't remember it off the top of my head, so I gave them your name. But I want you to just talk to them a little bit about your group and where to find it.
Hi, can you hear me and see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, praise God. Give God glory this evening. Thank you for bringing me on. If anyone is looking for the group on Facebook, it's called Minister Diane Harrell's support group for grieving parents. That's what it's called. And God ordained that group because a lot of times we don't get support that we need. And that's why some people, unfortunately, think about hurting themselves. Sometimes family is not always there. Sometimes they can be your worst critic and think you should be over it. Now, it don't happen all the time, but sometimes they can be. You don't get the support you need. Some people need support. Some people can get over it quicker than others, but some people, it might take a while. And in between that time, as you're waiting for your healing to break through, uh, it helps to have someone to talk to. And I know that because I've been there. I've been there, and God ordained this group because I felt alone. I felt I had no one supporting me. I felt that people were saying you should get over it.
And Mama
What?
Diane, just real quick while you're saying that, if you would share briefly with the people what trauma you're referring to in reference to why you created.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. I was gonna get to it, but yeah, I lost my son Bruce. So I'm grieving grieving trauma.
Oh,
I'm better than I was, but I'm not all the way there. I was in counseling. Bruce Harrell, that's my baby's name. He was 21 years old. He'd be 37 today, and I was in counseling 12 years, and it helped to go talk to that counselor because I got a chance to cry, to express myself. Someone really listened. So counseling does help. And now that, COVID is out, inflation is up, groups like this is needed because it's free. You don't have to pay money. Someone will listen to you. Someone will understand you and not punish you for feeling the way you feel and leaving you all by yourself, or at least make you feel that you are being left alone. I've been there. And because I have been there, God does amazing things because this group was ordained by God. I had no idea I was going to create on Facebook a grieving support for parents. But God put it there because I wasn't getting what I needed from those close to me. And I'm just being real with you. And by me helping others, God strengthened me to help others. And as I'm helping others, it helped me. And I'm glad that God saw that the need was there, and He knew exactly what was needed, and He put it right there. He placed it. And the group, you can come on the group, share your child's story, or whoever, your loved one, touch be your child, just anyone close to you. If you're grieving and hurting still, share their story, put their picture up, inbox me with your phone number. I'll call and pray with you. I find prayer is my best weapon. If it wasn't for God in my life and the prayer life and the relationship with God, I wouldn't make it. I couldn't make it. But God has did wonderful things in my life, and He's strengthened me where I can help others. And I thank God for that, because at one point I couldn't help myself. So I thank God for all that He's done and all He's doing. And I try to post every 2 days or so on the support group, Minister Diane Harrell support group for grieving parents. But again, it could be anyone. It could be your animal. People grieve for different reasons. It could be loneliness. You grieve because you're lonely. It don't matter. Talk to me on that page. I'll come up with a scripture and a prayer for you. I guarantee you. So I thank God for His amazing work. And yes, I met my daughter, Michelle, at the store because she looked like my best friend, Diane, I went to school with. And I'm so glad. Amazing how God put people together. I kept looking at her and I said, she looked like my friend Diane. I'm going to ask her. And just so happened, God placed her right there. And He placed me at the same time. And we were supposed to be connected. And I believe right now, glory to God for this purpose. You have a different kind of hurt. I have a different kind of hurt, but we both have a hurt. And we can come together and support and heal and help heal each other.
Amen. And I want to encourage you all that there is no expiration date on grieving. When it's your child or your parents, and especially someone, I remember being little Mama Diane, and people would say, why are you crying for your mother? You didn't know her. I'm crying because I didn't know her.
Wow. Really?
So I don't, there's no expiration on when people have to stop grieving, especially for a child that you have raised their entire life. And
yes,
gone. It doesn't matter if it was 5 days ago, and if it's 20 years later, you have the right to continue to grieve.
You do. You're a witness. God will meet your need. He will meet your need. You pray to Him, you cry out to Him, He will meet your need. Because He did it for me, and I know He did it for others. And He will continue to do it because He knows the heart of a man. And He'll supply everything that you need. So I thank God for holding every one of us and carrying us and seeing us through and forming this platform right here. I thank God for that. It just wasn't done because of us. It was because of God.
Right. And again, things did not get set up the way that I wanted them to. But again, God just put it in my spirit. Can you hear me, Mama Diane? Because my phone tried to ring.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So God doesn't want perfection, you guys. He just wants you to be obedient. So when He puts it in your spirit to do something, He just wants you to be obedient to what His will is. It may not look the way that you want it to look, or it may not be set up the way that you wanted it to, but just walk in the purpose that He gave you. And when He gives you that, and you do exactly what it is that He told you to, He's going to design it to go exactly where it's supposed to go. And you never know who's out there that's listening. You never know what it is that they're going through. A lot of times people don't always share their stories and their situations. And that being said, something that you have to say may be a blessing to somebody else's life. So don't delay because it doesn't look the way that you want it to. Just do what God told you to do, and where it's supposed to go and what it's supposed to do, it will do. I promise you that.
Mm-hmm. Amen. And I totally agree with you.
And I want to also say that I'm very appreciative of Mama Diane, and I call her that because again, I have many mothers, and that is something that, again, as I went through my healing process, I was always grieving for the mother that I didn't have. Um, and although I was raised by my great aunt, and again, I want to be very pointed in saying that I used to think of myself as an abused child. I now understand that I was just suffering as a result of her unhealed trauma. And that was something that she hadn't dealt with. And so she was just navigating life the best way that she knew how. But that being said, I feel like I've had many mothers. One of them, she's on. She's here is Nita Taylor. She has been a mother to me since the day that I met her. So I have many mothers, but I say that to say I always grieve the one that I didn't have access to. And so as I went through the healing process, God allowed me to see that He brings different people into your life at different
Mm-hmm.
times. And I'm thankful for Mama Diane because she gave me so many things about my mother that she was able to tell me that I never
Yeah.
knew about her. And I will encourage everyone that's on here, when you have a loved one that passed away, if they had children, you need to make sure that you're talking about that person. You're sharing memories about that person. You're giving that child things that they can cling to create an emotional connection between them and that parent that they lost. Because it is, I believe, imperative. And it was very healing for me to
Mm-hmm.
spend time talking to her and be able to get those stories and different things that I didn't know about her. It allowed me to make a connection to a person that I never actually knew. So that
Yeah.
was amazing. And it was just beautiful the way that God put it together. And I tell you what, I love the way that God orchestrates things. And when He puts things
Mm-hmm.
together, He puts things
Mm-hmm.
together, y'all.
Yes. Yes, he does.
So I am
Thought about.
grateful and thankful for you, and I'm glad that you came. And I encourage you all to, if you have a friend who has lost a child, or just anyone, as she said, close to them, to share the page that she has. It is a wonderful support. There are people from all over the world that connect with her there. She does respond, and she is there to be a support. So I encourage you guys to go look at that page, share it with anyone that you know that has lost somebody that's close to them. And then, I learned something recently too about when we're grieving, because again, that is a form of trauma. um when I saw someone recently, his son passed away, and one of the things that he shared is, when people are grieving, let them dictate how things go. So when they don't,
Mm-hmm.
necessarily continue to ask them what happened, if they want to tell you, they will share that. If they want to laugh in that moment, let them laugh. If they want to
Yes.
cry, let them cry. If they need to be
Yes.
hugged, but let them guide
Yes.
you in what it is that they need at the moment. Because
Yes.
sometimes we spend a lot of our time trying to tell people how they should grieve, and that looks
Yes.
different for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's what I was. I guess you could say I was persecuted for grieving. Really, to be honest with you. And now I know that was not of God. It was not of God. God said, "Help ye one to another." That's what He said. Support one another. And when
So Mama
when
Diane, Paul is asking if you could post the name of the group. So when you have the opportunity, if you could just type it into the comments, that way
okay,
it will be easy for people to find.
okay, I'll do it now.
Okay.
I,
So I want to thank you for coming on, Mama Diane. I have
yeah.
enjoyed seeing your face. We're going to be here every Friday night at 7 o'clock. We will be discussing, like I said, healing and trauma. It won't always be that. We do have some people that are going to come on to talk about some things education wise that will elevate us to the next level. But primarily, that's what we're here for, to make sure that people have a safe space where they can share their stories, where they can talk about their trauma, their grief, whatever it is that they uh, may be going through. And occasionally we will have somebody who actually is an expert in some of these things. But mostly I'm just going to be sharing my journey and hearing about other people's, and we're going to be sharing the things that have helped us elevate, because sometimes what works for one person doesn't work for another. But you may come across some information that someone else shares that helps you during your time of healing that might take you to that next level. So I just appreciate everybody coming on, and I ask you to all remain open. And if you have things that you want to share in reference to how you healed from a situation, share that information, because you never know who's listening, watching, and who might benefit from it. We're all going through something, y'all, and there is no shame in going through things. But we want to make sure that you have a safe space to talk about what it is that you're going through. And just know that if nothing else, I'm here for you. You guys can inbox me. Again, I have a public page. So whether you know me personally or you don't, please don't be afraid to reach out to me and let me know that you are in need. I will be here for you to the best of my ability. So we thank you and we love you, Mama Diane. And you have a beautiful rest of your evening. And we will see you soon, okay?
All right. I love you too. And thank you for having me. And I just posted where you can find me on Facebook. Send me a friend request. Join the group.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So everybody, she posted in the comments, so you can find the group there. Again, please feel free to like the content as well as sharing it. Okay, we will see you later, Mama.
I love you all. God bless you.
All right, y'all. So that was again Mama Diane. Go find her group. If you have lost a child, doesn't matter how you lost that child. If you are grieving over someone, she even said if you're grieving over your animal, because guess what? For some people, that trauma is a real thing. Okay. And nobody has the right to tell you how you have to navigate your trauma. I just want you to know that we are here for you. We're going to be here every Friday night at 7 o'clock. And we just gonna be talking. That's why it's called Just Talking, because we just gonna be talking. So whether or not I get set up the way that I want it to be, I'm here for you. I absolutely love every single one of you. If you come across this and you see me, I love you too. Doesn't matter that I don't know you, I love you. I'm sending you my love. I thank you all for joining me. I pray that you have a great rest of your Friday night. Be safe, and I'll see you next week. Love y'all.